Good, bro.
No problem. He shows how individuals like Napoleon Bonaparte, Queen Elizabeth I, and the notorious Cartier, the 17th century French Cardinal Richelieu, who you really got to look into his story because he was an interesting individual. But he shows how they're able to use power, and he shows how the laws of power are manifested through the work. There's also a very good internet program that details the 48 laws of power through the movie The Godfather. Because in that movie, The Godfather, you'll find nearly every one of those 48 laws of power being enacted. So one criticism of the book is that it can be overwhelming at times. Sometimes it can almost hit you and it can just keep driving in, and it can almost seem amoral. But I think the morality of the book is the morality that you project on it. And I think the morality that Green is working with is the morality of the society. So in conclusion, Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power is an essential read for anyone interested in mastering the complex game of power. Whether you view the laws as tools of manipulation or as a practical guide for navigating the world, the book provides valuable insights into human behavior and the ways power is exerted. While it may not be for everyone, the lessons on strategy, perception, and control are undeniably influential. That's the book of the day. Grab it. It's the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. King Jab, you were saying that you read the 48 Laws of Power.
Yes, I did.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I did. And great read. I can say, as with anything, even when I'm speaking, I do take the 48 Laws of Power as something, and I hope I won't offend Bailey right here, but when I talk to my people and I try to give them an example of how to digest these things.
Yes, sir.
When you read and you ingest these things, you take the sticks and seeds and put it to the side.
Right on.
And you roll up the good stuff.
Yes, sir.
So that's how you deal with anything. Because if someone comes advise you, okay, you're going to say some things you don't like, some things you point on, so you take the good points, add them with your good points, and throw the sticks and seeds to the side.
Yes, so King Jab, we were talking yesterday. Last night I went back to the dojo, and I absolutely love it. Anytime I feel like I'm away from myself, I got to go back into the dojo because I think there's something about men that need to fight. And I know I need to fight at least once every 30 days. I need to fight somebody, and I need to fight somebody. I have to do it, right? Fighting is good for the soul. So I'm always finding my way back to the dojo. It's something I've been doing since I was 4 years old. But what Bruce Lee said was, he said that you don't find that a sculptor makes a sculpture by adding clay. He hacks away the non-essentials, and underneath that is the truth that he's been trying to get to. And I think that's what you're saying, King Jab. When you say separate the seeds and the stems, separate the wheat from the tare, separate the wheat from the shaft, separate. Brother Anwar, one of my beloved brothers, you say, eat the meat, spit out the bones, like eating fish, right? So yes, sir, I'm right on. We right on there with you, King Jab.
All right, man. So I want to do you have an introduction for Mr. Bailey? Because I'm gonna concede. I'm gonna concede. I really want to ride the background on this. Me and OG we spend a lot of time together.
Right on.
So we here and we go do some. We consciously came together to make this something that's a different type of interview. Something we want to do, something that hasn't been done. Question that hasn't been asked. So, Brother Johnny, introduce my OG.
All right, here we go. It's a big introduction to make. It's definitely a big introduction to make. An individual who's been very influential in my family's life here in St. Petersburg. I use the moniker, Mr. Bailey, of the intellectual gangster. Equal parts each. Equal parts intellectual, equal parts gangster. Because that's in the balance of that is where I find myself. And I find that through the experiences of everyone who come before me. We were speaking before the show about just the familiar ties. And from outside of that experience, what King Jab and I really were gunning at was giving our pioneers, wherever they may be, the same amount of light that other communities give their pioneers. So if you can get a Johnny A. Light, if you can get a Sammy the Bull Gavano, if you can give them some airtime, if you can give a John Jr. some airtime or Anthony Reggiano Jr. some airtime, then maybe there's transfer in pedagogical theory. It's something called transfer, meaning an individual can take skills and transfer them from one part of life to another. Maybe there's transfer that are in the individuals who have our stories, who have our history in their bones, not just from a book, but in their bones, and don't necessarily claim to be a griot, but may be able to pull the coat of some of the quote unquote YNs, and some of us, and share some of our history with us. So without any further ado, I definitely want to bring to our airways, to everyone who'll be watching us, who's listening to us, an individual who needs no introduction, an individual who is constantly been pushing the line, Mr. John Bailey. Good morning, Mr. Bailey.
Good morning. Good morning, Breakfast Club. Good morning, everybody out there. This is my pleasure to be here, especially among some of my greatest admirers, and to be around some of the people who I'm finding out that they families, they parents, uncles, and grandfathers, and people, that I've known well and have admired greatly. So I'm here to just shed a little light on myself. In my program, I have a program called Life Inside Out, and that program is designed to help our returning citizens to transition more smoothly back into society, providing them with the necessary needs and resources available. And so, I'm someone who did 28 and a half years federal prison, and I always tell everybody, just like I mentioned this morning, I say I'm 77 years old. I'll be 78, in February. And I have spent 39 years of my life incarcerated behind prison walls. So come February of 2025, that scale will balance. And that scale will be, equally balanced between freedom and incarceration. So I'm here and I'm open to any questions, anything that you would like to ask me. I'm someone who wear my history. I wear my pride, on my sleeve, and my ups and downs. I have no problem, you know, speaking on my fall, and my success and disaster, so to speak. So I want to share that with everybody. And hope, that maybe I might reach some of our, you know, to divert them from going traveling down the path which I went, because I look at some of the things that are going on today. We had a young kid who was killed just the other day,
Mm.
and I was once one of those young kids, that got diverted, and it ended up taking me down the path that I want to speak out and just help anybody in the way I can, especially youth.
I want I want to add something to this real quick because through my experience um, of my feet landing on a federal prison compound at the age of 23 years, and I want you to know this. Um, I stood in a space where I'm from St. Pete. I'm in Fort Dix, New Jersey, and when you hit that compound, you say you from St. Pete. You're gonna be asked, "Oh, you know JP? Oh, you know Wonder Man? You know Jed? I was here when I did time with it there." And me being from the cloth that I was cut from, I always stood on that as a standard because they would never be able to in a compound and say anything bad about Jab to JB, J, or my representation of St. Petersburg. That was a hard count of home. Again, I'm in St. Pete, New Jersey, but you don't know that. Y'all don't know that, but that was the mode that we was running it. Man, ain't nobody gonna go on a compound with Mr. Bailey and Jab over there acting like that. You not gonna hear that. So even before I met you and I met hey y'all, you guys were held in an honorable position. So I like to say thank you. And with that, know, that makes me compelled to help you with your program because I operated under your program before you even knew it.
Appreciate that. Well,
So, Mr. Bailey, I got a couple questions for you. And they're kind of related to some of the topics that are in the book, The 48 Laws of Power. But redemption is such a great concept that sometimes we lose the fact that there's value in our lives before the redemption. We just got to learn how to take that value and apply that value to a way that won't necessarily lead to our peril, but will lead to our eventual success. So I have some questions for you from your skill as an organizer. You know, it kind of drives me crazy when people think that dope boys would just be naturally good businessmen, because that ain't true. All dope boys ain't good businessmen. All dope boys ain't good dope boys. If you making just enough to real, then obviously you got something wrong with your math ain't matching, right? If you can't make, if you can get consignment and you can't pay them people, then that means your math ain't matching, right? So you would do poorly in the business world as well as the underworld. But I do have some questions for you. The first one is going to be building trust and loyalty, right? So we're going to go back. So in both the criminal world and in the legitimate business world, loyalty is a vital asset. Now, how did you cultivate loyalty in your former organization, and how do you approach trust and loyalty in business dealings today?
well, I say as far as trust, I pretty much built my organization around people that I grew up with that I knew, and in reaching out and expanding. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? You have to. There's a test. That's a test that I used to use in order to test people's loyalty. And I would also sometimes put them in a situation where I would give them the opportunity to be trusted.
Mhm.
And they take that big, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? And I would know that this is something. And I may never say nothing to them about it
Mhm.
because it's so saying, like I always say, uh, it's as long as you know rattlesnake is poison, then you know what to stay outside of the striking distance.
Mhm.
So you can even deal with the rattlesnake. You don't have to fear it as long as you stay outside of that striking distance. So it's like to say, maybe feed somebody with a long held spoon.
Mhm.
So I always would put people, even those who were loyal.
Mhm.
I thought it was supposed to be loyal. I would put that test before them in order to see if where maybe that they might become disloyal. So it's that thing. It's like where you know I just believe in a person, and I study, and even like in especially prison. I mean, say it's hard in prison,
Mhm.
and they could be your worst enemy could be your so-called best friend.
Mhm.
Your best friend could be your so-called worst enemy.
Mhm.
So I don't know if I'm answering the properly to you, but
No, definitely.
you know,
Yeah, you definitely asked me. King Jack,
I ain't know you
come on now, bro.
I ain't know I was
Build-
being in it.
Building trust and loyalty, King Jack.
I can say with me doing bad and wrong, I build my trust and loyalty ultimately with love. Um, I always will love my team, and it come back. You know what I mean? Um, I never wanted to be respected out of fear. You know what I mean? That was. I think that's a bad to be in, and unfortunately, I think that's probably why most people respected me, but it was mostly like a favor. I ain't never did nothing. You just heard something. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's it. I ain't never did nothing to you personally. It's like I was I can't say I was in because what are you doing? But it was like you say, remember Nakasaki? Who everybody, this man was a whole family man, had kids, but they put it on this man like he was taking people's children. You know what I mean? Man ain't did nothing to nobody. He ain't went to jail for this, did a day, none of this for nothing. That's just an example. You want to add it up?
Well, yes, you know, uh, I agree with you. You know, as far as showing love, you know, it's me. It's like if I incorporate myself around somebody, then everything that you generate, you know, it's us. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like we had a family environment. You know, my group of my associates, we were family, and everything we did, we, you know, and it's like
Mhm.
our kids right now are this close because of the way we brought them up. You know, and so everywhere we went, you know, I could just call and say, hey, we go to a concert, I buy all the tickets, and all of us go, we sit together. And I was like Jeff said, you know, I didn't really, I wasn't so proud of what I was doing. I always somebody with the things that I was doing, and I wasn't proud of. You know, and sometimes I would go home and I would like say, man, did I just do that? I just destroyed my, you know, neighborhoods. I see like women, you know, using drugs or something like that, and neglecting their kids and things
Mhm.
like that. And I said, well, you know, hey, if I don't do it, somebody's gonna do it, you know. And you try to make yourself say it's okay, but that transformation, you know, it's like when I get to a point, I people might not believe this when I tell them I was so fed up with what I was doing till I didn't care about it.
Mm.
It kind of gave me some relief because once I get, I say, okay, I ain't hurting nobody, no more, I ain't doing this, I'm not doing that. And right now, you know, the money that I used to make, I wasn't even happy. I made all this money, and you sit there and you miserable, and you can't figure it out.
Mm.
You know, it's that conscious thing,
Mhm.
and that conscious get to ride like that. You say, man, you know, you ain't doing, it. And you know what I'm saying? And so it beats you down. So when I went in, that's where that transformation came because it gave me time to say, okay, now I can wipe the slate
Mhm.
clean and I could be a better person. If I didn't ever think I'd get a person. I had 8 life sentences and 9 30 years.
Mhm.
And
To be clear, and we concurrent.
that's right.
It was
Right.
concurrent, yes, sir.
So, but you know, it's just for the show. You know, God has a different plan for you.
And duck that rope.
Right.
That's the thing. A lot of
Right.
people don't understand that, but Mr. John Bailey. And duck that rope.
Right.
They try to put that jacket on you,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the third law of the 48 laws of power is law 3: conceal your intentions. Now, in your business management, past and present,
Mhm.
how do you manage to build on your personal objectives without revealing too much to others, especially in competitive and high stakes environments? And I need both of y'all to jump
Right.
on this
I think that's one of my weaknesses. Is revealing uh, because I've been told that I was told that you know by a person,
one. Right.
and say, oh, hey, don't be so quick to jump out there, you know. But I say, hey, I say, you know, it's just like I just want to share,
Hmm.
you know. But sometimes people are run with you got in there, take your deal on to see how they can extract from that and diminish what you do. So I said, okay, if it's meant for him, okay, it's meant for him, but it can't stop me from doing what I do.
Right on.
So, you know, that's one of my weaknesses, you know, that I might reveal or share something, you know, too quick and allow people to know or get inside of me. But I'm always cautious of my surroundings.
Mhm.
So, like I might give you something just to see if you're taking the wrong way, and I know how to deal with it. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My father would always tell me to learn how to think like the people around you think.
Oh, yeah.
And that's always a wise thing. King Jab, law 3: conceal your intentions.
All right, cool. Last night, I went to a meeting with Mr. Bailey, right? And I'm in this room, and I'm really playing poker and chess at the same time because I feel like Some people here that's here. Some people that ain't really supposed to be here. Let me see why you here. Let me repeat the game. So I'm I'm my daddy, Billy. I'm a master poker player. Like I'm literally, and when I say this, the brother gonna be like, Jesus. I'm constricting myself. I'm making myself small. I'm smaller in my chair. My mannerisms are good inches to the point where the lady said, "Oh, I can feel the energy of some people," and I'm looking right at her, like, you won't look at me, but yeah, I'm giving you what I want. But me playing this poker game made what I said at the end 10 times more impactful
Mm.
because I raised my hand, then they kind of shut it down. And the brother was like, "No, I want to hear from him," and I was like, and it made what I. But the whole time, I was considering my intentions because everything we talk about, everything we talked about in that room, I done probably told these men right here 100 times. These plans are already in my head. It's already written out. Brother just said we just got to put it on paper and make it come alive. So go ahead.
Hey, hey, you know what? This funny thing about it because I read you. I said that, and we talked about that last night after we left. I said, yeah, I said, man, Jab was sitting there like I said, I can pick him up. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Which is real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that was kind of like outside of the context of what we
Mhm.
normally
Mm.
would be doing. And I beamed in on you. I don't know if you saw me
Mhm.
beaming in on you, but I read you just like that, just like what you just said.
Yeah.
And so I say, uh, it's a format in terms of how we put something together, you know. And so we got to bring in uh, some of our people who are real, and just like what Eric was saying, uh, you're not gonna get out of us, you know,
Mhm.
out of just people in general, real not gonna open up and, and say certain things because if
Mm.
you don't have a safe space of that comfortableness uh, around amongst us, we can get together. All the initiatives which you want to speak, bring in or whatever,
Mhm.
we could do that ourselves. You know, we can get together and and just release that pent up emotions and talk about things and just let it out where, you're not looking down on me, you respecting what I'm
Mhm.
saying, and I'm respecting you for being there, for being open enough that someone I can lean on. And it's a lot. It's a lot that's inside of me. People say, "Hey, you don't look like you've done no time." Really, I said, "Well, but I don't know what's look like." I mean, look, I'm a nerd. So,
All right.
that,
Right on. Dealing with competition. Now, the people around the world, they have their own form of cutthroat competition. We understand this. But now, how did you manage rivals, and how can legitimate businessmen use similar tactics without crossing ethical lines to stay ahead of the competition in today's competitive corporate world?
okay, I tell you like this. When I was kind of raised, I was raised up around businesses. My father had his own business.
Yes, sir.
So when I was a young person, I used to go with him. I followed him everywhere he went. Buy products and
Hmm.
everything. I went with him. I learned from him early on. We used to tell you he was go across. We was go into one county where one county was hot. Not you're not supposed to have some
Hmm.
wet county, dry county,
Drug
stuff
counters,
like that.
yeah.
We would go over there as a young kid. Me and my dad would go over there and smoke a beer back over into
Hey,
Oakfield County. So I was a smuggler
right on.
when I was a little kid. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But get down to the competition. I worked for McDonald's one time and I studied their whole operational manuals, things
Listen,
like that.
listen.
And so I went in there and I said, what? So we went to a seminar. They had the seminar. They had everything on one. They had McDonald's on the side.
Hmm.
And they were saying what would make people turn into Burger King as opposed to turning into McDonald's, And they had 5 things that you're supposed to do, you must do if somebody walk in. You had to smile and greet them.
Mhm.
You had to take their order. You had to assemble the order. You had to ask them what they like, anything else. And you thank them and ask them to come back. And you do this with, just the joy
Mhm.
like that. But the whole thing about McDonald's was they used the best products. Everything, the mustard, the ketchup, everything that they used was the best.
Mhm.
So now, if you all remember back in the days, they would say they opened a billion sold.
Mhm.
So they go at buy your sales, the flip.
Mhm.
Everybody knows you sold drugs. It's
Mhm.
all about flip.
Mhm.
Turn it over, turn it over, turn it over.
Mhm.
So you can have the same product. But I would say what's beneficial to me, in terms of how much money I can make off of it,
Mhm.
that's satisfactory to me. You might say, "Oh, I need to make X amount of dollars,"
Mhm.
but I'm gonna undercut you. You see what I'm saying? Because this is okay with me because I'm going at the flip. I'm going at the turnover.
Mhm.
How fast I can. So it's business principles and practices that I use from an early age, and watching and learning through these companies that's been successful for who knows how many years.
Mhm.
So that's my practice that I use, in terms of the competition. I'm gonna beat out the competition because I'm gonna treat my people better. I'm gonna give them a better product and everything. I'm gonna give them a better price.
Right on.
Right.
King Jab, dealing with competition, brother.
All right, let me get y'all a scene from my movie, right? So it was I think around 2000, maybe 99. Real slow in the city. It was work, but it wasn't very accessible. So me and O uh, came across some. We got it back to the city. Mind y'all, we just served time for this, so I can't reserve time for this. I'm finna proceed.
There's no double jeopardy on Voice of the People.
Now I'm finna go forward.
That's all I'm waiting to take.
Yeah. Well, no, you can't get no time off for this. It's already served.
Yeah.
So
Somebody call me.
I say, oh, what we
Somebody
finna
call
do?
me.
What we finna do?
Got the DL on speed now.
He's-
You talking now?
He said, man, we finna wet all of them. So when we wet them, man, these things coming back triple. But it's so wet, like we literally selling it out the freezer. If y'all didn't know it, those that know, they know. But we pushing it so cheap in the city, ain't nobody got none. It's all gone. But everybody got water. When we come back the next time, I say, oh, what we gonna do? We finna wet this? He say, glass that. Now the whole city got water, and we the only ones with glass. We took over the whole market. We cornered the market. It was a marketing strategy. Um, right now, COVID, I allow with the grace of my brother John, because I do anything he asks me to do. Y'all know that. I told y'all that. I allow community leaders and other people into my brain. I allowed them into my brain. I allowed them to see me really work. I allowed them to see the skills that God really gave me. And that brought forth a lot of projects, a lot of programs being funded right now that's ultimately not working because it was never up your path. So my fallback from that was I'm not letting these people in my brain anymore. All of our projects are for us. All of our coordinations is for us. The brain power, the loyalty, when they come back around this time, it's gonna come from us. I'm not gonna let them pillage our intellectual property anymore. So that's my strategy. And then that's what I'm currently operating up now.
All right. Fine. Question number 5 is from Law 16. It says, use absence to increase respect and honor. One more time. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Now, Mr. Bailey, how did you effectively use your presence and your absence to maintain power and respect in both business and personal relationships?
Well, I say in reference to my absence, I could say that in my absence, I was able to still be respected. When I say that, I'm saying my absence from freedoms and society, because just to be absent from freedom, from the world, you're placed into a different society.
Mm-hmm.
But in that one, I gained respect in another. You see, because what I did, I was still the person who I was.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't allow myself to be diminished, in a way, because for the simple reason because I was in a different environment. So I always managed to maintain my standard. I would never reduce my standard. Never. I mean, I would never allow nobody to take me beyond, drag me down to their level.
Mm-hmm.
So I always kept that level head, and I said, if you're not going to come up here, I'm not coming down. I'm not going down there. I just wouldn't do that. So if I had to walk alone, I would always, I would just say, and I've done that many times, in prison, and I know a lot of times officers, will see me walking, and they by myself. I said, hey, wait, are you going to have to walk with you? I said, no, I'm cool. I'm cool. I ain't got to look over my shoulder. I ain't doing nobody, but I bring to the table for somebody, you bring something to me, I got something for you too. So what? And it's just like in absence, it always give you an opportunity to find yourself, to find inside it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you was overlooking, you didn't wasn't paying attention to, So, and it gives you time, to give you that piece of that where you can meditate, and to just think other things out, in order to elevate yourself.
Right on. Jabo, I got to ask you this one, big brother. How do you use absence and your presence to maintain power and respect in business and in personal relationships?
So, being that I was blessed with a Gemini, I have really been in tune to playing the character that's presented. As I said, even right now, if you go in the street, like, oh, that's Child Boy, people be like, well, don't mess with him, leave him alone. But if you really look at the factuality of it, I wasn't no different from nobody else. Yeah, I had a few fights, a few scuffles, maybe a few bang outs, but it was no more than any other street person. It was just a persona of Jab. So I'm gonna play with the character.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And as I stated, I didn't want people to respect me out of fear, but I have to play a character to kind of get the. I was kind of on my Charleston White, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But so be it though. I was so intelligent, smart. Like I'm a street dude, but I got a concealed weapon permit. So me jumping out at the liquor store with a button up wide open in a desert eagle in a detective holster meant nothing to me, but the streets looking at it like this. You know what I mean? But it ain't nothing to me because I'm permitted.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was playing a character.
Law 34 says, King Jab, be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. Let y'all chew that one up real quick. We're going to transition. Mr. Bailey had another question for you, sir.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, King Jab.
I'm glad you said that, bro. Listen, bro, one of the most honorable things to be right. One of the things that keep me alive and running right now is my grandson calling me Jab. Because that's what he see.
Mm.
That's what he's saying. That's his story right now. So go ahead, brother.
All right. Mr. Bailey, leadership and authority. Now, you led a team of people in high pressure situations. How did you establish authority and maintain control? And today, as a business person, how do you lead with authority while ensuring that your team is motivated and committed to a shared goal? There's two questions. First, how did you establish authority and maintain control? And the second is, how do you lead with authority while ensuring that your team is motivated and committed to a shared goal?
Okay, I always number one, you have to draw up a blueprint, and in that blueprint, I say, you present it, say to a contractor, and they got to be able to see that blueprint. Just like if you look at it and you turn the page, you can see the house, you can see the room, you can see from the roof. If you look down on
Mhm.
the side,
Mhm.
so this blueprint that I drew up, people were able to see it and they were able to envision it. That is already built. It's
Mhm.
already built. It's on paper. So once you could get people to see your vision and they know, they say, I'm looking at it on paper and everything you got in there, the pipes and the electricity and things,
Mhm.
they know that will work. It's just on paper, but it's just as good as already being built. All you have to do is get somebody to build it or to believe that they could build it. So I always feel that the people around me that we could do this.
How do you deal with short-sighted people? If that's
Short,
the case, short-sighted people, people who don't cannot see it, who may want to be able to see it, they may have an intention to be able to see it, but they just can't see it. How do you deal with that?
you just have to you have to just make them believe in it. So, it's
Mm.
like
Let him
you know,
stay on fries.
uh,
Let him stay on fries,
yeah,
bro.
yeah,
If he bad over there on
yeah,
Right on,
fries, let him
right
man.
on.
He don't
yeah,
still
yeah,
on
and
fries.
that is true.
Put him where he
Because
good.
because just like you say, if you don't, then you trying to pull a wagon, or you just pull a dead weight. But that is true,
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I have run into people that was kind of unsure of
Mhm.
themselves, but they actually say, "Hey, I can do it. I do that right." It's just like me that we have the right,
Mhm.
but I also uh, don't have problems with people who are successful and who have a vision as well.
Mhm.
If I could see their vision and see where I can incorporate that vision into my vision, and we can collaborate together. Oh, that's fine. It's just like we right standing right here, like that.
Mhm.
I mean, I have watched this program, and I have seen his passion, and I know what he do and what he want to do, where he's trying to go is coming from right here. That's where I am.
Mhm.
And that's the kind of people I want to be around. And so, like I say, I want it. I want it. I don't mind him taking the lead. I don't have to be the lead. I want to be a part of it. He got this pie. He can only he can't beat the whole pie. If it is, he just still not make it happen. He can incorporate these pieces in there, and
Mhm.
all of us bring it to that particular the ingredients of the pie. Say we can put it all together and make this great pie. So that's where I'm at with him, Eric, and some others that we have. We're in the association with. We gonna put this thing together because we bring it to the people what most of these other organizations don't have. They don't have that passion. They
Mhm.
ain't got that passion. We gonna bust some guys open. Let's be honest.
Right on. Right
Might
on.
as well go sit down. And I'm telling you something. When I get out there, I'm working hard. I go. I ain't got no problem working all day. As long as I know I keep my eye on that goal, I think that's where we going. We gonna get there. And I go with him. We can do it.
Right on. Right on. King Jab, how do you establish authority and maintain control? As a businessman today and yesteryear, you had to lead with authority. But now, how do you ensure that your team is motivated and committed to these shared goals?
A lot of people don't know. When I switched my degree in at SPC, I studied management. And when I talk to kids and people are like, oh, what's one tool you would give all kids? They all look at me when they're like I'm crazy, but when the light bulb come on, they'll figure it out. Learn how to manage other people. If you can learn how to manage other people, if you can pay 10 people $50,000 a year to make you 100,000 plus, voila, you're a millionaire. During the pandemic, we running the street team. Brother John in the skybox. And he like, bro, you can handle this? I'm like, yeah, I got it. I got it. I'm finna implement what I learned. And what I've learned when dealing with people is how you deal with people. I rarely tell people to do anything I ask. Um, please and thank you could be used as a congratulations or to tell you to get the hell out of my face. Please and thank you.
Captain Kangaroo.
Um, and ultimately, really for me to succeed out here, really managing and dealing with people and making through that, it was the things that I learned in prison from dealing with so many different type of people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that I can categorize you, but I can see the type of person that you is and learn what position that you can play on my team.
All right. Fantastic answer. Call in and join us, guys. We listen to the voice of the people, 99.1 FM, WJM, 99 Jams, the Bird Cat Festa Radio, 727-637-2416. Listen, call in if you want to, but like Surfer say, please don't disturb this groove because we got a groove going on right now. Here we go. Mr. Bailey, question for you, sir, about conflict resolution. King Jab, you on deck. Conflict is inevitable, whether in a criminal organization or in a business environment. Now, how did you handle conflict resolution in your past operations? And what principles or strategies from that time do you now use to resolve business disputes?
Dealing with conflict, I'm gonna go inside the prison system, and I'm talking about this conflicts. Oh my God! Hey, there's always gonna be conflicts inside. So I was somebody inside, that I don't know how everybody just decided to say, hey, let's get JB, man, to represent us or what have you, but it started, man. We had a major issue with, say, the DC guys, say that. And the system, they the worst of the worst. I mean, they're the ones pretty much that was doing some damage there,
And the reason why DC doesn't have any state charges.
Yeah, right.
So you get caught smoking a joint in front of the store, you going to federal prison.
Right, yeah. And so when I first went, I said, well, I can't understand why. What's the difference? Why they so different than everybody else? But we had this issue with one of our homeboys, got into it with one of them, and it was going to be a major problem. So the guys, for some reason, asked me to mediate. And so when I went over there to mediate, you can't go in there acting like you're scared or something like that. So I mean, I had to put on my best, ain't playing, look, what I'm saying? And went over there and I'm talking to some thoroughbred guys, what I'm saying? I said, hey, this is what time it is. So to solve these conflicts, intelligence, and sometimes you might have to, and I come a lot of things sometimes for this. I might take a step down or something like that, in order to say, turn the other cheek sometimes in a situation where you say somebody like with instead of on the roster. Be smart enough to be able to separate pride from which I don't know what you want to say. Your pride just being dumb enough to go into some stupid way it's going to really cost you. So it's just like anything else. Say I take this loss in order to gain 4 minutes.
Yeah. King, Yeah, yes, sir. King Jab.
Oh
Go
well,
ahead, Ron, and then we'll
we
bring
got
it to
4 minutes,
our close.
so
Yes,
we
sir.
bring it up. First and foremost, like for right now,
Yes, sir.
y'all excuse me. I had to realize that I'm the conflict.
Self improvement.
I
The
had to
bank
realize
for
that most
community
spots that
development.
when
Ain't
I
that
go
something?
in, I'm the conflict.
Go
So
ahead. Yes, sir.
the resolution on me. Um, that's a good place to be. I like it. So, but and when you look back at it, and I apply this, from in prison and on the street, it is also you have to come in mind, and I realize that I have other people that will ride for me.
Showing up.
So when dealing with conflict, when I'm dealing with what I'm going into, I know if I flick the light green, there's some steppers that's gonna step,
That's the truth.
and I have to be considerate of me, my well being, my family, their well being, their family, because
Mhm.
ain't none of that gonna be thought on when the light go green. Um, Dealing with conflict always been, I think, what's the most manly thing to do? Quick story before we go off. Right,
Mhm.
I'm in Fort Dix. Dude, come up there on my unit. Man, y'all, come on, let's go down here. This dude just slapped me. He slapped you. Why you here? He looking at me. I said, he slapped you. Why you here? He looking at me. I said, man, that man slapped me, man. We hit him out of drug him down here with me, bro. Why are you here? why are you here? This man that slapped you, man. So that was, well, okay, let's wrap it up.
Mr. Bailey, looking back, what are the most important lessons that you think you've learned from both your time in the criminal world as a boss and your transition as a boss into legitimate business? And what advice would you offer to aspiring business leaders who want to gain power and success without compromising their integrity?
The one thing that I really learned is that number one is to be myself. I want to be sometimes in doing what you do. You might be trying to impress somebody else or something like that. I kind of got led in a bad direction at one particular time in my life as a young person. Because I was afraid, of being bullied. So I joined forces with somebody that could protect me.
Mhm.
But I think if I was being somebody that I wasn't, and I went into a area of my life where I had to be who I had to be somebody else for those people in order
Mhm.
to, in order to get to a certain point. But I am who I am. I realize that I have a lot of potential, and I misuse it as I got older and as I was growing, and so. You know.
I mean, wrap up. Go.
Mr. Bailey, how can I get in contact with
Yes,
Oh,
please. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yes. I have a program called Life from Inside Out. I have a phone. You can call me anytime at my phone number. It's 727-710-7576, and I do help return assistance. And anybody that want to get in touch with me regarding anything, dealing with that or anything in general, just helping young people, man, just call that number, 727-710-7576. My program is Life from Inside Out.
you? King Jab, take us home.
All right. I'm gonna give y'all a tool, man. We're moving as one in 2025. Let's chase capital and not funding. Um, we have to build sustainable businesses. We talk about businesses in St. Petersburg, black-owned businesses. We're not sustainable businesses till we have an HR department. We ain't raising no bell, y'all. I'm out.
Right.
Hey, it was funny. look